You almost didn't take this assignment. Your editor called it a routine profile piece, 1,500 words on a rising political candidate, his background, his vision, his family, the kind of soft feature that fills space between the real stories. You said yes because you needed the byline. That was 3 weeks ago. Now it's 2 a.m. Your coffee is cold, your phone is off, and on your laptop screen is a document that could bring down an entire election. You didn't go looking for this. It found you. His name is Victor Ade, 53 years old, former Minister of Finance, now the frontrunner in the most watched presidential election this country has seen in a decade. Clean record, polished image, excellent speeches about accountability and fighting corruption. Your assignment, spend 2 weeks following his campaign and write a human interest piece about the man behind the politics. You attend rallies, you sit through press briefings, you shake hands with campaign staff who all say the same rehearsed things in slightly different orders. Nothing unusual, nothing interesting. Until his assistant sends you the wrong email. Your inbox pings. You assume it is your editor. It is not. It is an email from Marcus Cole, Victor Ade's personal assistant. Subject line, final transfer confirmation, do not forward. Sent to you by mistake. You almost delete it. Your finger hovers over the button for 3 full seconds. Then you read the first line. The email contains a chain of messages between Victor Ade and a man identified only as DK. Financial transfers, large amounts, moved through 3 different countries, timed to coincide with government contracts awarded during Ade's time as finance minister. Contracts worth millions of dollars. Contracts awarded to companies that don't appear to exist. You read it 4 times. You are not misunderstanding it. You don't sleep that night. 6 hours of cross-referencing, company registrations, government procurement records, parliamentary documents. 3 shell companies, all registered within the same 6-month window, all awarded major government contracts, all sharing one director, a name that exists nowhere in public life. Then you find the detail that makes everything click. A property record, a luxury apartment building under that director's name, the billing address for utilities, the one thing nobody thought to hide is Victor Ade's private residence. The shell companies are his. The man running for president on an anti-corruption platform has been stealing from the public for over a decade. You sit back and look at what is spread across your desk. This is not a profile piece anymore. You call your editor at 6 a.m. You tell him everything. Long silence. Then, send me nothing in writing. Come back today, face to face. You check out of the hotel. You get in a cab to the airport. 40 minutes later, your phone rings. Unknown number. A man's voice. Calm, almost friendly. He says he knows what you found. He knows you called your editor. And he says you should consider very carefully what happens to journalists who publish things powerful people don't want published. He doesn't directly threaten. He doesn't need to. He hangs up. You sit in the back of the cab staring at your phone. Your hands are not entirely steady. You don't go into the office. You drive around for 2 hours thinking. You think about what you have, a forwarded email that could be dismissed as fabricated, property records that Ade's lawyers would bury in legal challenges for years, your word against one of the most powerful men in the country. Then you think about your editor's voice, the way he went quiet, the way he said come back like he was managing a situation rather than breaking a story. You think about who owns your newspaper. You think about the fact that the owner attended Ade's fundraiser last month. Even if you bring this to your editor, will it actually get published, or will it disappear into a drawer? You pull into a petrol station, open your laptop, and start looking for someone else. Her name is Dr. Amara Sule, 61 years old, former investigative journalist, now runs a small independent press freedom organization downtown. A trusted source sent you to her, someone who said, if you have what you think you have and you need someone who won't be pressured, she's the person. You meet in a cafe. You sit with your back to the wall. She arrives exactly on time, orders tea, looks at you with the eyes of someone who has been in this situation before and survived it. You show her everything. She reads without speaking, asks 3 precise questions, then folds her hands on the table and looks at you. This is real, and it's bigger than you know. She opens her bag and places a thin folder between us. Documents she has been sitting on for 2 years, different sources, different angles, same man. She has been waiting for the missing piece. You just walked in with it. I'm not going to tell you what happens when it publishes. What I will tell you is this. You almost deleted that email. Almost convinced yourself that one journalist with a hotel room full of printed documents couldn't do anything against a man with that much power. Almost. But you didn't delete it. And Dr. Sule didn't lock her folder away 2 years ago either. 2 people, sitting on opposite ends of the same truth, waiting, without knowing they were waiting, for each other. Sometimes that's how it works. Not a hero, not a perfect plan, not certainty it will make a difference. Just 2 people who decided that knowing something and doing nothing was a choice they couldn't live with. You start typing. Subscribe to ShadowPOV. New stories every week. Stories that show you the world through eyes you never expected to have.